performance. I just want to know how you kind of interpret that phrase and how you apply it as a leader with your teammates in conversation.
Yeah, that's definitely a big theme for us. I feel like we, as a team, obviously we have the potential to do a lot of good things, and I think a big thing for us is how we, like Coach Saban said, is how we maintain it, how we sustain it, how much we keep pushing, how consistent we can be. I think that's a big theme for us as a team.
Steven.
Bryce, when did you notice that JoJo Earl, this could be a pretty special wide receiver right here?
Yeah, really right when he came in. When he came in, he came in. He came in right before the season. He wasn't an early enrollee, but even then, he came in with a really professional mindset. You can always tell how someone attacks, really the time away before we start practicing. He came into the first practice with a good knowledge of the playbook. You can tell he was studying, and that's something that really caught my eye and a lot of people's eyes. And then, when you get out there and you get to rep against our defense, when we start practicing, he was making plays, and he looked really good. So JoJo's someone that, we're all really excited about. We're excited to see how he develops.
Charlie.
Hey, Bryce, so this will obviously be your first true road start as Alabama's quarterback. Just what's the most important thing for you? And Coach Saban talked about your poise. Just how important is that in terms of just getting the communication to all the guys around you?
Yeah, that's always important when you go into a hostile environment like we're going to go into this weekend. We know the environment we're going to go into. We know the challenges ahead of us, and us all as an offense and us as a team being on the same page is going to be really big for us. We have to make sure we're communicating well, make sure that through the week that we're getting the reps we need to get so that we're prepared for Saturday. So that's something that's going to come and develop, and something we're going to really be emphasizing this week.
Michael.
Too quick if I could. Have you ever played in an environment anywhere approaching what you'd expect to see down in Florida?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, this is a really, again, we know the challenges that that are in front of us this weekend. We know how hostile the environment is going to be. For me, it's, and really for everyone on the team, it's something that coach is going to prepare us for, something that coaches, something we're not taking lightly at all. And we know that we have to work on making sure that we have everything right during the week, making sure that we're good in our communication, and making sure that we have everything repped well during the week. So, we know the challenges ahead.
When you went back and watched the film of your game Saturday, how would you assess, some of the deep balls seem like maybe a step off, bad luck with some penalties? How would you assess some of that downfield throwing?
Yeah, I think Coach Saban really summed it up well. I think when he talked about our preparation and how we prepared last week, that was something that he talked to us about a lot, just in meetings and throughout the week. And I think it really showed. I think we didn't do a great job of preparing last week, and I think when we don't prepare and we don't push ourselves to be as good as we can be during the week, then mistakes start to come up. And I don't feel like, as a team, we're very proud of what we put on film this weekend. And that's something that we have to acknowledge, watch, learn from, and make sure that we're growing this week and making sure that we're preparing and pushing ourselves during practice.
Aaron.
Bryce, the chemistry between a center and his quarterback is really important. In that regard, how's that going with Darian? Did it hinder that development when you were working with multiple centers?
No.
And does he know where you like the ball in the shotgun and all that? I mean, how many reps does that take to kind of perfect?
Yeah, it takes a lot of reps on the field, and with whatever rotation we had up front, there was never really any issue chemistry-wise. I'm tremendously lucky to have one as good of a O-line as I do, but also one that works really well together, communicates well together. Like, I don't think people understand how rare that is, and for me to be able to have that up front, that really made the transition of whether we were rotating or shuffling, really any positions, it made it really seamless for me. And they do a great job of communicating. We're, us as a unit, we make sure that we're always on the same page. So there was really never any real issues with communication.
Tony.
Bryce, you've had a lot of success when you're facing pressure in the pocket. What's going through your mind when the kind of walls come closing in on you a little bit?
Yeah, I think, that's really, I guess in the moment, it's not really something you feel. You always have a specific read or a specific thing you're looking for each play. There's always a pre-snap and a post-snap process that I'm going through. And really that doesn't change. I think that's kind of what we work on, what we practice, and, what we've been taught here is, you have to make sure that, you can keep your eyes downfield, make sure that you know what's going on. And, anytime there's immediate danger to where you have to move, that's kind of a reactional thing. But, when there's stuff closing in, you have to make sure that your eyes downfield and make sure that that isn't really affecting you.
Haley.
Bryce, the word poise has come up multiple times whenever people are talking about you. Even in these media sessions, when you're answering questions, you're so put together and so poised. Where does that come from, and how do you kind of maintain the ability to be such a great quarterback, a great speaker, and all that stuff?
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. There's definitely times that, I feel like there's a lot of improvement that I can have in that area. But, it's really a culmination of a lot of things. I think off the field, it's a lot about how I was raised. I was blessed to have two great parents that have raised me really well, and to this day are people that that I get to lean on, and that's that's a real blessing. And on the field, I think it comes with reps. I think it comes with preparation and intensity and practice, and in times that aren't the Saturdays. And I think that's where really the poise comes from, because I think it's really a product of your confidence, and therefore I think that confidence is a product of preparation.
Cecil.
Speaking of preparation, Bryce, I don't know how much film study you've had this week. I know you prepared for Florida last year. What stands out to you about their defense?
Yeah, it's a really good group. They have a really good group defensively. Really top to bottom, extremely talented. They do a good job defensively, schematically. They have make good adjustments. I've seen them communicate well. But really top to bottom, just from watching them on film, they're a group that we know we have to prepare for, a group that we know we have to go out and practice for. Again, we're going to a hostile environment, playing a really good team. And defensively, they're really good. So, we know that as a unit, and we know that it's going to take everything and all the preparation. And, we're going to have to attack this week in order to go out and perform on Saturday.
Charlie.
For those who've never experienced it, how would you describe the indoor practices where the coaches pump in the crowd noise? And how do you think that's helped prepare you for what you're going to experience this weekend?
Yeah, it prepares us a lot. I think it's really important because, during the week, at times, you're fighting that complacency, and you're fighting, you just played a game, you're about to play a game, this is, the practice part. But I think those Thursday practices it gets really intense, and we get to have some good on good periods, which is always good. And then, when we pump in the crowd noise, I think it's really effective for us as far as practicing our communication and trying to simulate, certain atmospheres and wherever we're playing. I think it does a good job of preparing us. And, when you have that, I think it's a good training method to, when you can't always hear, when, there's noise or external factors, how can you lock in? How can you communicate, make sure that you're focusing? And, it's something that I feel like prepares us pretty well.
Final two questions, Nick Kelly and then Katie.
Hey, Bryce. I think I've heard a few people mention your ability pre-snap. Can you describe as a quarterback what it takes to succeed before the snap and in diagnosing things, and just what's led to your success in moments that's worked out well for you?
Yeah, a lot of preparation. I think that's a really big thing. We have a tremendous staff that does a great job of talking to us and making sure that we're on the same page. From cut-ups to coverage breakdown and blitz breakdown, that stuff that we're able to get from our great staff, and then really just have to put the time in and pick up on stuff before the game comes. You have to watch film. You have to look into the small details of that film and really consume as much of it as you can. And then after that, again, you rely on your rules and your coaching that you've heard from preseason to during the week when it comes to play-by-play and different things you're looking for. But, it's a lot mentally, but, it's a lot that comes from preparation.
Katie.
Bryce, what do you remember about last year's SEC championship matchup with Florida and kind of watching that quarterback battle unfold between Mac and Kyle Trask from the sidelines last season?
Yeah, I think it was great for me to be able to watch that, be there and be able to learn, two quarterbacks playing really well, two teams playing really well. Last year, I felt like it was just, it was a back and forth battle. You can definitely see the heart they showed, the resiliency they showed. They fought to the end. They were a team that was really, really good last year, and again, a team that's really, really good this year. So for me, being able to see that, was a really good learning experience for me.
Thank you, Bryce.